Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to Utility Sports. And we've got some MLB content coverage here coming at you in this video. John Heyman reporting that Starling Marte, the former All-Star outfielder, is signing with the New York Mets. Of course, this past trade deadline got traded to the Oakland Athletics from the Miami Marlins. He was a big name player to watch this offseason. And the Mets have landed him in a very, very busy day today, which is pretty atypical for the MLB during free agency, a team to go out and make multiple signings in one day. They've done that today, bringing in Eduardo Escobar on a 2-year deal, Mark Canha on a 2-year deal, and now we have news that Starling Marte as well is going to the New York Mets. Austin, you watched Marte quite a bit with his time with the Diamondbacks, Pirates as well, and then also you're a big-time Miami Marlins fan, so you've gotten to see a lot of Marte in your time watching the MLB. What are the Mets getting here with Marte?
Yeah, so Starling Marte is a guy that does not get a lot of national recognition because he's played on a lot of bad teams in his career. Like you had mentioned with the Pirates and Diamondbacks and Marlins, didn't get a lot of that spotlight that you'd like to see for a player of his caliber. He's so great defensively, really good with the bat, always hitting for consistent average, and also steals a ton of bases. So he provides a lot of true value to a team, and some of it even goes beyond the stat sheet for how great he is defensively. But what the New York Mets are really getting here, a good clubhouse leader, a guy that can be a building block in a transition for this team, where we've seen a little bit of roster turnover as well. Obviously, losing a guy like Noah Syndergaard is a big deal, but they were ultra aggressive here to start free agency, which is what Steve Cohen is focused in on. He wants to build a perennial contender. And how do you do that? You are super, super aggressive. You take chances, and that's exactly what the Mets are doing here.
Right. In recent years, we've also seen the Mets kind of move away from focusing that starting pitching with some of their recent losses in free agency, and now focusing on really building up that lineup. Perhaps all the times that we've seen Jacob deGrom not get wins or no decisions, even though he's only given up 1 or 2 runs, maybe is really what's pioneering this move for the New York Mets. Also today, they brought in Eduardo Escobar and Mark Canha, 2 guys I talked about at the start of the show, Austin. I know Eduardo Escobar is specifically a player you like. I also like Mark Canha as a depth player for them in the outfield. I think they're really rounding up their 26-man lineup coming into this year, the 26-man roster. What's your thoughts on those 2 signings as well here for them?
Yeah, great value in both of those signings. In particular, Eduardo Escobar, a guy that consistently drives in runs, always has a high OPS as well. A player that, once again, doesn't get a lot of national recognition, but he is consistent with the bat, a big time run producer, and he's a solid enough glove at third where you can really trust him there, and he's not a super huge defensive liability. No, by no means is he a great defender, but he's a guy that you can at least put there and feel okay about it. However, just adding these high caliber bats is really going to serve the Mets very well, and it's good to see that they're being very aggressive, especially at the start of the offseason.
The Mets have been super aggressive since Steve Cohen became the owner there for that organization. They've made a lot of moves, of course, trading for Francisco Lindor last year, trading for Javi Baez. They've done a lot to try and build up this team, and we'll see how it all pans out for them moving forward. They're going to be in the news for quite some time. Hopefully you guys did enjoy today's video at Utility Sports. If you did, make sure to leave a like. Also subscribe if you're new. We'll have a jersey giveaway coming out at some point soon in the future. So there's something good for you guys to be waiting for on the channel. Again, thanks so much for watching. We'll see how the Mets do the rest of this offseason, and we'll catch you in the very next Utility Sports video.